I'm Terry. I am a certified melt instructor and I've been teaching for over 3 years now. I've actually been practicing melt for over a decade. I took my first class in 2013 through the City of Santa Clarita Parks and Rec, and I immediately knew that this was something different. So melt is a self-care practice that you can do at home or in a group setting to stay active and feel better. We use a soft roller and therapy balls to hydrate fascia, which is the supportive connective tissue in our bodies. I was born with a birth defect. It's called PFFD, proximal femoral focal deficiency. Say that 3 times fast and try to spell it. So basically, I was born without a femur and my hip was not fully formed. My foot was actually at about knee height. And so what they did was amputate the foot and reconstruct my hip. And then at 18 months old, I learned how to walk using a prosthetic leg. I'm an identical twin. I did everything she did, and we were very active. Our dad took us fishing, camping, water skiing. We rode horses. I even finished the Honolulu Marathon in my late 20s. But it was in my early 30s that I began having low back pain that stopped me from enjoying that active lifestyle. And that low back pain progressed. I had to stop working, and I had chronic sciatica nerve pain down my human leg from my back into my big toe for 15 years. After endless appointments and specialists, there was basically nothing medically that could be done but give me pain medication. It was during that time that I wanted to find alternative treatments, answers, anything to get better, because I didn't want to spend the rest of my life on pain medication and a lot of time in bed. I was willing to try anything. Do you remember the gin-soaked raisins that were supposed to help with arthritis? Not recommended. I already knew a little bit about fascia as I had done an intensive treatment at the John Barnes Myofascial Retreat Center in Sedona, Arizona. It was a 2-week intensive, and the treatments were great. I learned a lot about my body and how to identify pain and where it was coming from. It wasn't coming from where I felt it, but other areas because of the fascia. But when I came home, I couldn't afford to keep getting the treatment. They required myofascial release, massage treatments that were really expensive, and I couldn't keep going. So when I heard about melt and the fact that it addresses the fascia, I was very interested. So fascia is the supportive connective tissue that connects and surrounds every muscle, organ, bone, and joint in our bodies. It's seamlessly connected head to toe and skin to bone. There is no separation, and without it, movement wouldn't be possible. Our fascia relies on fluid to stay healthy, flexible, and supportive. You can think of it like a fluid-based spider web that is seamlessly connected head to toe and skin to bone. It keeps our muscles balanced and stable. It gives our joints shock absorption. It keeps our organs tucked back within our body. It's what gives us our shape. It gives our skin its support and lift. It's primarily made up of collagen. As we age, fascia becomes dehydrated. And this can be from an active lifestyle, a sedentary lifestyle. It can be from repetitive motion, too much activity, too little activity, too much sitting. Basically life. So do you feel stiff and achy when you first get up in the morning? And then you start moving around, so you think it's nothing, right? Well, it's actually dehydrated fascia that's causing that stiff and achiness. So in melt, we refer to that dehydrated fascia as stuck stress. Now, as that stuck stress begins to accumulate in your tissue, then you're not just feeling stiff and achy, you're feeling pain. And that pain can become chronic if it's not addressed. So I have an example. So when connective tissue gets dehydrated, you can think of it like a dried out sponge that's been sitting on your kitchen sink. When you bend and twist, it doesn't go back into shape, and you can almost hear it crackling, right? Well, we want our connective tissue to look like a hydrated sponge. When it bends and twists, it goes back into shape. And this is what our connective tissue does for us in our bodies. So to get a dried out sponge to absorb water, we run it under the faucet and we work that fluid into the sponge. And then we get a well-hydrated, flexible, bendable sponge. And this is what we do when we melt. We use gentle compression along with our soft tools to hydrate that fascia and restore its supportive qualities. I'm sure that you're familiar with traditional foam rolling. We use the hard foam rollers, And so the goal with traditional foam rolling is to bring blood flow to the muscle. And so even though our rollers look like a traditional foam roller, the techniques are very different. So what we're doing is we're using gentle compression along with our soft tools. You can see it's a soft roller. It has a lot of give to it to hydrate the fascia and restore its supportive qualities. And not only bringing hydration just to one area, bringing hydration to those areas that are commonly dehydrated, like around the joints. And then we're moving that fluid along into the fascial system. So we get that whole body effect when we practice melt. The key difference here is that melt helps fascia absorb and retain hydration, keeping your connective tissue flexible and resilient without force or pain. I've already showed you the soft foam roller that we use in class. And then we also have therapy balls. So this is the ball kit. This is the mini kit. And the mini kit has one of each ball. The full hand and foot kit actually has two of each. So there's the large soft ball, the large firm ball, and then the small soft and firm, and then a bunion band. So those are the balls we use for the hand and foot treatment. Hand and foot treatment can be done seated, standing, on the floor, in a chair, at a desk, in bed, and same with the foam roller. All the techniques can be modified and done seated or against the wall or even laying in bed. I teach classes in the Santa Clarita Community Centers in person, and then I also teach online on Zoom, either a group class or a private session. And then there's also Melt on Demand. It's a streaming platform. There's actually a beginner bundle that includes the foam roller, the balls, and then 30 days of the on-demand streaming service. And there's hundreds of melt classes on that already recorded. And so if you're interested in doing melt, say from the comfort of your living room in your pajamas, you can still do it with Melt on Demand. So if you're coming to a class in person, I bring the melt tools. I bring the rollers and the balls. And I do encourage you to purchase your own mini ball kit so that you'll keep practicing at home. Practicing just a few times a week, you can make lasting changes in your body. And I do sell them, the mini kits, in class. So for online classes, you'll need your own tools. You'll need to get the roller and the ball. You can certainly try a class without the tools. It's not going to be the same, but if you're kind of curious and just kind of want to see what it feels like doing the techniques, you can come to a class online and then see if you are interested. And then lastly, if you want to come to an in-person class, but you're not local to Santa Clarita, you can still go on the website and search for an instructor in your area and see if there's somebody near you that is doing in-person classes. So that's always an option too. So let me know if you have any questions, and let's get you started today. Are you feeling better?